In the intricate web of human psychology, ego stands as a formidable force, both a guardian and a saboteur of the self. It is the scaffolding upon which our identities are constructed, the lens through which we perceive the world, and the fortress we erect to protect our fragile sense of self-worth. Yet, beneath its seemingly impenetrable facade lies a paradoxical vulnerability, a vulnerability that often leads to strife, conflict, and suffering. The ego is a double-edged sword, capable of propelling us to great heights of achievement and success, yet equally adept at ensnaring us in a web of delusion and self-aggrandizement. It whispers seductively in our ears, fueling our desires for recognition, validation, and superiority. It thrives on comparison, constantly measuring our worth against that of others, fostering envy, jealousy, and resentment in its wake. At its core, the ego is a manifestation of our primal instincts for survival and self-preservation, a vestige of our evolutionary past that continues to shape our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. It craves control, seeking to dominate and manipulate our perceptions, driving us to defend our beliefs, opinions, and actions at all costs. Yet, for all its bluster and bravado, the ego is a fragile construct, easily bruised and wounded by the slings and arrows of everyday life. It recoils in the face of criticism, real or perceived, erecting barriers of defensiveness and denial to shield itself from harm. It clings desperately to its illusions of superiority, masking its insecurities and fears behind a facade of arrogance and conceit. But beneath the layers of ego lies a deeper truth. A truth that transcends the narrow confines of individual identity and egoic attachment. It is the truth of our interconnectedness, our shared humanity, and our inherent worthiness simply by virtue of being. It is the recognition that true fulfillment and meaning can only be found in the embrace of our common humanity, in compassion, empathy, and love. Transcending the ego is no easy feat, requiring courage, humility, and a willingness to confront the shadow aspects of ourselves. It begins with self-awareness, with the willingness to look inward and examine the motives and beliefs that drive our thoughts, emotions, and actions. It requires us to cultivate mindfulness, to observe the workings of our minds without judgment or attachment, allowing the ego to dissolve like mist in the light of awareness. It also entails a willingness to let go of the need for control, to surrender to the flow of life with open-hearted acceptance and trust. It means releasing the grip of attachment to outcomes, recognizing that true freedom lies not in the attainment of external goals, but in the surrender to the present moment. Practicing gratitude is another powerful antidote to the ego's insatiable hunger for more. By cultivating an attitude of gratitude, we shift our focus from what we lack to what we already have, fostering a sense of abundance and contentment that transcends the ego's endless cravings. Moreover, embracing vulnerability is essential on the path to ego transcendence. It is through our willingness to expose our authentic selves, flaws and all, that we discover the true strength and resilience that lies at the core of our being. It is in our moments of greatest vulnerability that we forge deep connections with others, breaking down the walls of separation that the ego so diligently erects. Ultimately, the journey to transcend the ego is a journey of self-discovery and self-compassion, a journey that leads us home to the truth of who we are beyond the confines of egoic identification. It is a journey that requires courage, perseverance, and an unwavering commitment to the pursuit of inner peace and freedom. In conclusion, while the ego may loom large in the landscape of human experience, it is not an insurmountable obstacle on the path to self-realization. By cultivating self-awareness, practicing mindfulness, embracing vulnerability, and cultivating gratitude, we can gradually loosen the grip of the ego on our lives and awaken to the deeper truth of our interconnectedness and inherent worthiness. In doing so, we open ourselves to a life of greater authenticity, fulfillment, and joy, free from the shackles of egoic illusion.